I'm originally from South Africa, as I mentioned earlier. I've twice now ran for Senate in my district. I'm from Manchester. The first time I got 40% of the vote. I ran as a Republican. In 2018, I got 42% of the vote. Everyone knows I'm a Free Stater, so I think the first thing I'd like to tell you guys is don't be so scared of us. We're just ordinary, normal people. One of the things that is never mentioned when these things happen is there's really only one thing that unites Free Staters, and that's the belief in the non-aggression principle. What is that? It means we believe in peace, and we believe it is incredibly wrong for anyone to aggress against another person. And we believe that the state aggresses against us all the time. I'm sure there are a lot of progressives here today, and I actually want to go over a list. You know, when you watch something like this, it's hard not to get mad and frustrated, and I'm sorry I interrupted in the middle there. But, you know, it's hard when you get painted a certain way, and it's not really what you're about. So I actually made a list before I came here about the things that we have in common with progressives. And I want you to also think about if this, you know, if I took a road show like this on the road and I just flipped it and I was like, I'm going to analyze Granite State progress, you know, you can paint a picture, and you can paint a picture by association that can make people look bad. But at the heart of it, we're individualists. So what we ask is that every single one of you judge every single one of us as an individual. I think that's something we should all be able to agree on. So, here's some things we actually have in common. We don't like crony capitalism and corporatism either. We don't like police militarization. We hate the war on drugs. We don't believe civil asset forfeiture and shooting black people in ghettos is okay. We believe in choice on everything, including school choice. You can say we don't like public education, but you could also say we believe that people should have the choice to educate their children according to their needs, according to the way those kids learn. And we know, I have friends who are teachers. I see a teacher in the room that I know. And we know that all the kids don't learn the same. So if you're going to take taxpayers' money, let that money follow the children and let the children learn the way they need to learn. We, just like you, believe the elections are rigged. You know, the progressives are kind of on this far end. I don't think we kind of work on the right. You know, we're sort of something different. But for the most part, the reason we're running as Republicans and Democrats is because the Libertarian Party, when we try to run as libertarians, we can't get in. We can't get ballot access because it's rigged. I mean, anyone here who voted for Bernie last time, and I saw how well he did, so it's going to be a lot of us, you know, we saw what happened to the DNC delegation last time. I mean, the same thing, my guy in 2016 was Ron Paul. They did the same thing to him. The system is rigged. So my point here today is just to say, oh, the Border Patrol, right? So they're doing these unlicensed Border Patrols where they're searching with ICE and stuff in our state. I mean, that shouldn't happen. And I go to the ACLU stuff, and half the room's libertarian and half the room's progressive. So I actually think what we should start to do is we should have this dialogue, right? We should be able to talk about ideas without the name calling, without going, here are 3 bad guys. You know what? She talks about 3 bad guys. I'm like, we kicked them all out. What else were we supposed to do? We identified problems and we made a change. I think we should be applauded for that and not raked over the rails. Collectivism, like we're seeing here by saying because there's a group, the group is the same. We're not. We're individuals, and I don't think it's fair to tar us by association. She mentioned that I'm the president of the Foundation for New Hampshire Independence. I don't know what better argument to make to you that the Free State Project, which is a 501c3 federally recognized education nonprofit, if it was a secessionist movement and I was president of it and we had 20,000 members, participants, why wouldn't I just have used that organization? Why did I resign, leave, start a new organization, and do it? Simply because not everyone agrees with me. I mean, A lot of people think it's a really nutter idea. I don't know. I've analyzed everything. And I think the more independence we can get from the federal government, the better off we'll be. One reason. We in New Hampshire pay more to the federal government than we get back. Every cent we get back from the federal government comes with bells and whistles. So they're stealing from us, and then they're telling us what to do. I think we can do better. There was a lot of misinformation in this, so I will actually analyze the slides, and I will write a rebuttal for the specific slides, and I'll encourage all of you to take a look at that as well. A lot of what you heard here sounds sort of ominous, but it's really like us being civically engaged. I think some people should be excited. If no one's running for office and someone says, I'm willing to step up. And this whole idea of that we can really take over anything is ridiculous. Here's a very, very good example.
Manchester?
Well, yeah. But there was a Free Stater father and daughter who were elected at the same time. He's a Republican, she was a Democrat. I actually went and analyzed their voting records because I was like, what will this teach us? They only voted together. Father, daughter, Free Staters, both moved here, only voted together 30% of the time. That's probably lower than like people in the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, right? Well, you guys will vote 99% of the time. So I don't think you have to be this scared of us. I guess what I would ask here is if you're curious, reach out to us, ask us questions, come to our events. Let's see where we can actually build alliances, because there's a lot of overlap here. The actual difference is we actually all know what the problems are. We just disagree about how to solve those. You guys think we can solve it with more government? I feel like more government got us here, so why would we lean into the thing that keeps failing? We say, let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to the way things used to be, where we relied on each other on a community level because of individualism, not because of force. So I go back to that non-aggression principle idea. We believe the government aggresses against us and against our neighbors, and that's why we think taxation is that. Thank you.